afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to a forecast here. So it's going to be another video. I know I just made one not too long ago, but Ada is now a tropical storm now, and it is rapidly intensifying. It was just a tropical depression this morning, and it is at now her tropical storm strength, and it's rapidly intensifying. So what a way to bring Ada back. Recon has already found 60 to 65 miles an hour, so this has a very good chance to become a hurricane, unlike I thought, for Cuba and Florida. And also, the National Hurricane Center and global models are now all showing a mainland Florida hit. So, Homestead, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, you guys can get some extreme impacts, not only because it's going to be making landfall in mainland Florida now, but because it could become a lot stronger and be a lot stronger during the landfall here, up to maybe 80 miles an hour, since it's already at 60 to 65 miles an hour. It has plenty of time in the waters between where it is now and the Florida coast. So it's going to be very interesting here. There's a lot of information to take in. 12 of the models are loading, so there's a lot of updates throughout what we have right now, and I'm probably going to have another video out this evening, so maybe even a triple upload, since this thing is probably rapidly intensifying. It's going to be raising risk, and we have tropical storm warnings now for Florida and Cuba, and even tropical storm watches all the way up into the Jupiter, Florida area, and warnings as well for the Bahamas. So there's just a ton of updates compared to yesterday's upload and all that. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So here's looking now at Ada, and it is back as a tropical storm, and there it is at 40 miles an hour, and pressure continued to drop at 998 millibars. It's actually making landfall for the Cayman Islands. It wasn't expected to do that, but since it's making landfall on the Cayman Islands, that is exactly why we are seeing that eastern shift for mainland Florida now, including the National Hurricane Center. And obviously now threat to the Panhandle have really well minimized even more. So the chance for Panhandle landfall are basically up to maybe 5%, as it's going to be making a second landfall for Florida and around the Tampa Bay area, or just north of Tampa Bay, just south of the Big Bend. But there it is, Ada, 40 miles an hour, 998 millibars, and now moving very quickly at 17 miles an hour. That's the thing. If it's at 60 to 65 miles an hour, it's moving 17 miles an hour. It's moving really fast. So the chance for a Category 2 are still up to 0%. Since it is rapidly intensifying, it has a very good chance to become maybe a weak Category 1, but chances for it getting beyond Category 1 are very slim because of that extreme speed it's moving at. Let's check out now IR, and as you can tell, it is definitely looking like a 60 to 65 mile tropical storm. There's no way this just became a tropical storm. There's no way a borderline tropical depression and storm looks like this, but we have a new center low right there, and it is just to the west of the Cayman Islands. So it's basically the eye wall is over the Cayman Islands as we speak, and Recon supported 63 miles an hour surface. So they are basically seeing 60 to 65 miles an hour in the Cayman Islands right now, when they were only expecting 40 to 45, and they weren't even expecting a landfall at all. It's supposed to go just to the north, but now it's like this. So that is going to be raising concerns for areas like central Cuba instead of western Cuba, which is why we have tropical storm warnings for the Bahamas and for Cuba and portions of Florida. So we do have alerts for the U.S. right now, and that's including much of the east coast of Florida all the way up past St. Port Lucie, and then even including the Naples area. And I wouldn't doubt the possibility of tropical storm warnings and watches being issued in the Tampa Bay metro area. But there we got a ton of convection right there. Pinks and purples are popping up, and that's just showing you that the convection in the eye wall is starting to develop now. So this is why it's rapidly intensifying. I mean, because it's developing an eye wall so quickly, and that's going to be advancing the wind speeds. So there it is. There's that top eye wall right there with that low pressure right. Actually, that's not where the low pressure is. The low pressure is right here. So you're starting to see the northern eye wall starting to really develop. We just need the southern part right here to develop right here. And then this will just continue to blow up from then. Once the eye wall fully closes, it's going to become a hurricane. So there's a lot of updates on the National Hurricane Center based on yesterday, and they are finally showing a mainland United States, Florida landfall. So they're taking it actually now for the mainland United States and mainland Florida. So yeah, I mean, I know the Keys are part of Florida, obviously, but I'm talking about mainland Florida. It is finally showing a mainland Florida landfall just south of Homestead near Florida City. So I'm going to be seeing a lot of flooding issues for the Everglades, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, areas near West Palm Beach. You guys could possibly see the eye wall. So you guys can be seeing the worst of the storm. And I wouldn't doubt this. The cone actually shifted a bit more to the northeast, and it actually shows a landfall now for like Homestead or Miami. So if you're in southeastern Florida and southern Florida, and even out there in southwestern Florida, you guys get some pretty harsh impacts compared to what you guys expected. But I see they are seeing tropical storm wind extents for the Cayman Islands there, so they are getting the eye wall. And we have tropical storm warnings for portions of the Big Bahama Islands as well, where Dorian made landfall in that general area. We do have tropical storm warnings for much of the Bahamas, tropical storm warnings as well for areas like central Cuba, and tropical storm warnings now for the Keys, Miami, Homestead, Fort Lauderdale, the areas near Naples, Florida City, Key West, Key Largo. You guys are under tropical storm warnings now, and you guys were only under tropical storm watches last night. So there is a rising concern for well over tropical storm winds, especially hurricane wind gusts, to possibly even a hurricane wind sustained. We still even have tropical storm watches because the wind field, it's not big at all, but it's still going to bring in some pretty strong gusts. It's going to bring tropical storm wind gusts for air in the tropical storm watches, not necessarily tropical storm winds sustained, but gust, which is why you're under a watch. Even though the wind field's extremely small, I mean it's really small, about the size of Miami and Miami-Dade County, but that's expected to change. That wind field expected to get a lot larger. But yeah, let me actually as well do this as well. So the chance for it actually now coming out like this, and its chance for a landfall in the Panhandle has really gone down a lot. So I do expect the National Hurricane Center to show a landfall right here later on. Especially since I expect them to move their cone more to the north. So it'll probably be like that. And a lot more spaghetti models are also showing a kind of Tampa Bay landfall, or just north of Tampa Bay there. I don't know too many cities north of Tampa Bay, but just kind of between the Big Bend, so areas near Spring Hill, areas like Hudson, Florida, and areas as well near Otter Creek. I mean, it's not necessarily in the Big Bend, but it's gonna be in the general area right here, where it's gonna make landfall right here, and they're gonna go like this out to sea. So there is a chance it's gonna very well be in even more long lasting of a tropical system. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be a really big, long-term system, especially if it's going to go back out in the Atlantic. But the thing is, it's probably going to, if it goes like this, it's probably going to go out this way, where we still have waters able to withstand a tropical system. But they have 65 mile an hour peak, and they have it at 45 for Saturday evening. And if this is really well over 45, so this will probably increase winds. Tropical storm warnings as well. This is a better look at it. The Grand Cayman Islands under tropical storm warnings. Areas near Freeport and Nassau, you guys are under tropical storm warnings for the northern Bahama Islands. Much of central Cuba coast, southern and central, or sorry, southern and northern central coast are under those the tropical storm warnings. Havana and areas like Miami and Naples are still under those watches. You actually don't think. There we go. There it is. I was about to say, wait, this doesn't look right. Alright, so there it is. Never mind. This is the reloading. It just reloaded right now. I forgot to refresh it. There it is. Miami, areas just between Fort Lauderdale, areas right there in Homestead, Florida Keys, Florida City, the Key West, Key Largo, and as well Key Biscayne. You guys are all in the tropical storm warnings now. That was the latest update there, and that's because that chance for tropical storm wind sustained are now increasing up to around 100% there, and that means hurricane wind sustained are also very well likely here. But you do see the landfall for the Panhandle is really slim. You see they all have a landfall north of Tampa Bay. And there's not a single landfall except two for the Panhandle. And those models are definitely going to be wrong, because it's going to be doing that northeastern turn like that. So it's going to be like an S-shaped. It's going to be like an S-shaped track there. So you see a lot of the models now are getting it to a mainland Florida landfall. And the Everglades, we have a lot more models. We have around 3 or 4 more models now showing a landfall for Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So like I said, I do expect these tracks to continue to move north, and I did expect a direct landfall near Homestead. As well as look at this right here. You see the majority are getting it still up to the mainland Florida area, but we are having a bit more models. We only had 2 yesterday that got it up this far north, but now we have 5. So I do expect a lot of the models to start moving northward in the 12Z because of that rapid intensification, and I do expect more models to go where that pink is. But you do see not a single model here. Not a single model here showed the panhandle landfall. A lot of them are going towards just north of Tampa Bay in that St. Petersburg area, and going to bring in some big effects now as well for Georgia, the Carolinas. It's going to bring in a long-term effects there around the East Coast there, and then probably can make another landfall there for North Carolina. So, I mean, they got pretty active in the first few months, and then North Carolina has been very quiet ever since as well. We're seeing even as well here in Tropical Tidbits, we're seeing a bit more malls getting to mainland Florida. We have 3 here just north of Miami, and then we have around 4 down there near the Everglades, and then you see not a single model here showed the Panhandle landfall as well. Very quiet, making a landfall kind of between the Big Bend, which is right here, and Tampa Bay is right here. I don't know. I know there's Gainesville that's right there, but that's not going to be a landfall. It's just going to be over land there. But going to bring in some threats as well far up to Jacksonville, Savannah, Charleston, Raleigh. And then as well, the intensity guidance, this is expected to really change here. This is actually before recon went in. They are only showing it to a moderate tropical storm. I do expect a lot to get to the yellow now, but really like on the border, because they probably won't jump that much. So here's looking at the GFS, the new 12Z. This is actually fully new. They're only at 90 hours now. So you do see they show a 989 millibar for Cuba, which is already possibly a strong tropical storm borderline hurricane. And let's watch this here. I've actually not checked this. I haven't seen it at all. And they show a bit of a southern shift here. They're not showing a mainland Florida, United States. They're not showing a mainland Florida landfall anymore like they were at the 60, but they are showing a 988 millibar landfall. Let's check out 10 meters here, and they still have yet to show those hurricane winds. But the reasoning for this is because the 12Z reloaded before recon actually showed the RIs. So 18Z models is probably where we're gonna get our best look at it. Let's check out the CMC here. This is the 0Z. They're obviously showing a mainland Florida landfall. Let's check out the nav. Let's check out the icon here. This is still the 12Z. They're not showing a mainland Florida landfall anymore. So that's, I mean, it looks like they're starting to go to a southern trend, but trust me, that's just because these reloaded before they just reloaded before recon went in to actually show that rapid intensification. But let's now check out United States, but actually go to let's go to the East Coast here so you can actually see what's there showing for Florida here. If this could load for me, that'd be great. So you do see this is actually what we're seeing there. They're expecting pressure to get pretty low. This is the GFS and CEP. They're showing pressure to get down to 978, and they have it making landfall there with winds up to around 65 miles an hour. So again, this is all going to be completely different by the midday. But bye, guys.